Hello, I'm Steve Lowe, Mobile Product Director at Gamma, and joining me today for this podcast is Rob Kittler.
Hello, Steve.
And Christian Krug.
Hi, everyone.
And today we're going to talk about IoT. And actually, we're very fortunate because we're really getting behind IoT in the UK now, and we're going to be doing a big push this year. But Christian's got a lot of experience in IoT in Germany. Through the Epsilon business, which has now been acquired by Gamma, but that's great experience to bring on board. So I'm just interested, Christian, really, what is the history of Epsilon, and then what prompted you to actually move into the IoT space?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for the question, Steve. At first, I want to introduce myself. Hello, everyone. First of all, I'm pleased that I can talk to you today about the important topic of IoT and its almost unlimited possibilities. My name is Christian Krug, Managing Director of Epsilon Telecommunications in Germany, a wholly owned company within Gamma Group since 3.5 years. We are the market leader in the B2B marketing of connectivity solutions from the three most important network operators in Germany: Deutsche Telekom, Vodafone and Telefonica. So now I can talk about the history of Epsilon and after this about the history of Fusion IoT together with Gamma. In 1998, after the privatization of the German mobile sector, we started with the development of Telefonica's indirect B2B channel. Over the years, we have established long-term relationships with the other two main operators in Germany, Vodafone and Deutsche Telekom, and with around 800 sales partners nationwide. We sell the network operators' original products to business customers. This makes us to the first address for B2B connectivity in Germany.
Fabulous. And then what actually made you decide to go into the IoT market?
Yeah, well, it was a funny story. In 2018, a long-standing sales partner approached me and told me that he had a customer who wanted to supply all major cities in Germany with a wireless router solution in the smart metering sector. They needed around 300,000 high-volume IoT SIM cards as part of the digitalization of electricity meter reading. Due to the low state-regulated price for electricity meter reading, it was not possible to deliver the service using Epsilon Networks operator business model and make money at the same time. So we decided to cut out the operators and deliver the connectivity directly ourselves. We launched Fusion IoT as Epsilon's own brand through our very good contacts in the telecoms market.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fabulous story. And I think we've seen the same use cases here in the UK, haven't we, with the various utility companies looking to install smart meters with connectivity that makes it much more efficient for them, I guess, to operate their service because the meter readings are automatically captured and sent over the air. Yeah, that's a really interesting use case. And you've got a lot of experience in the IoT market. We're obviously looking to learn from that as we bring it into the UK. How would you define IoT? And how would you describe the business impact of IoT?
Yeah, the globalization of markets and the digitalization of business processes require worldwide data exchange at any time and in any place, ideally in real time. Fusion IoT provides this service securely and at a competitive price for all devices that are connected to each other and exchange data. In this way, we established the connection between people and the world of machines to implement advanced business processes with maximum efficiency.
Do you have any specific use cases that you've seen there that we might benefit from in the UK?
Yeah, there are so many examples for the wide range of opportunities for IoT. I think a good example here in Germany is a pest control use case. So there's a startup in Germany who said, we digitize the traps for food companies, for pest control for rats and mouse and something like that. And in the past, you have to walk through your environment, and you have to check every day the traps for the pest control. This company called TrapLinked digitized the traps. So when you walk, you don't have to walk through your environment. You got it on your laptop or on your monitoring. So if there's a rat or an animal in the trap, you got a signal. You got a signal, and you see, oh, there's a animal in the trap. And with Fusion IoT, you can connect all these traps in every surrounding. Perhaps in the downstairs where we have no good connection, you can collect all these informations from the traps, and so you got a massive cost effectivity for this business. And with the esim functionality, you can build these traps with the routers, and you can deliver them all over the world, because with the esim functionality, you can get the connectivity in every country you want. And that's, I think it's a great use case. And there are other use cases like asset tracking all over the world. We talked about smart metering is a big thing. Also smart cities. Smart cities are a great use case. You can't imagine what you can do with the connection all over the world with Fusion IoT.
I think that's the really interesting thing for me, is that, I guess what we're focusing on is delivering the connectivity. So whatever you want to do, we can connect you. But really, this is about, as you said, business process efficiency. So making businesses much more efficient, cost effective, improving perhaps the quality of their product or service, which drives more sales and more revenue. So, I think it's something that businesses will want to do to get a competitive edge, but ultimately they'll need to do to be able to keep up with the competition. And I think the forecasts for IoT growth are huge. I mean, the current volume of SIMs, for example, that we have in the UK is 40 million, expected to be 65 million by the end of 2025. And I know it's the same in, you probably got more of a global perspective, I guess, Christian.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. The growth in network devices forecast by well-known consulting firms remains constant despite the global crisis. This means that global data connectivity is no longer a vision, but a clear precondition for keeping the global economy running. With an average growth rate of 20% per year, $468 billion will be generated in our business by the end of 2027. So I think a great opportunity for Gamma, all the partners of Gamma and the customers.
So I'm uncharacteristically quiet so far on this podcast. I think I'm mainly in awe of your English, Christian, and how I would ever be able to deliver something in German would be beyond me. However, I'm pleased to say that it sounds like your product is coming over to our shores in 2024. So all of your best practice will rub off on us and our team in the UK, and we can offer this to partners. Is the plan? The UK partners that I look after in that channel. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to putting cats out of business in the pest control side of things. But we always think of things like asset tracking and, as you say, smart metering. But I'm guessing you must be putting SIMs into just every kind of device for that analytics and for that data to feed through on the connectivity. So is there anywhere we should probably start in the UK? Is there a tried and tested method, or something where we can look at first of all to make sure we hit the ground running?
Yeah, for sure. We started with the IoT launch of our Fusion IoT SIM management platform right now here in 2024, together with Steve Lowe's team with Gamma, with an own SIM management platform like the platform we got here in Germany. for international purposes. So we could start right now with connectivity for all customers in the UK and your international partners.
Yeah, and actually we are running some proofs of concept with Christian's team for some of our customers, where we're testing the service and it's working really, really well. And the interaction in devices, because sometimes we'll have a primary SIM, which will be our Gamma 3 UK SIM, which covers, we get 98% of the data passing through that. Yeah. But where that signal fails, it'll fall over to the or fall back to the Fusion IoT SIM, and the connection is very, very quick. And it's delivering some real business benefits for the customers that we're trialing this with. But I think the really exciting thing for me as well is that we already have a great product with Fusion IoT, the connectivity management platform, the different coverage options that sit behind that platform. And we're bringing that together with the data management capability that we have in the UK, so we can manage customers' traffic, data traffic securely, and also with our eSIM capability. So we're going to be launching something really disruptive in the eSIM space together with Christian through Fusion IoT. And I think it's going to, it'll be a case of, the sum of the parts equaling more than the individual parts do. Yeah.
So there's probably stories around each of the networks that we've got access to and the speeds and the coverage. But I suppose, forgive my ignorance, are we looking at one pane of glass and what type of information is on that pane of glass that's so important? What does the portal look like and what does it deliver?
Yes, I have to go one step before. As we are the established and trusted contact for corporate communications for our business customers and their partners, it goes without saying that they come to us as a reliable provider when it comes to global data connections. Once the demand for the required data connection has been established, it generates scalable and recurring revenues over many years, planning reliability for customers and consultants. Due to its flexibility. Due to its flexibility. Oh, it's a very, very strange word for me here in German. And independence, Fusion IoT can be integrated into business models and also has the potential to help establish new business models for partners and end customers in win-win situations.
Perfect. And yeah, I think just in answer to your question as well, Rob, the different connectivity options do sit behind one pane of glass. Okay. So what Christian's team has built is a portal, and behind that portal there are various connectivity options with different network operators. All of these things can be managed seamlessly. You can have data pooling across the different operators. It's very seamless. It's about delivering the right connectivity in the right place at the right time, the right application, and the right device, but all managed seamlessly and easily behind this platform. And what we're doing as we bring this into the UK is adding our Gamma 3 UK service. So we'll have a single network solution for the UK where that is sufficient for a customer because the coverage is excellent. But if they need the resilience, or if they can't afford for the signal to drop as they're traveling around perhaps, then the Fusion IoT offer is there to provide the multi-network SIM.
Makes sense.
Yeah, the customer only need one portal for the whole IoT connectivity, because he don't have to think about which carrier is in which country the best carrier for the devices. And we choose in the project the right carriers for the customer and combine it in the portal. So he don't know which connection is there. There is a connection, and that's our business and our service.
Yeah. And then one of the other benefits is that we will be providing a data management service. So we will securely take the data from the network, bring it into Gamma and route it wherever the customer needs us to route it. And that can all be also set up via the portal. And then finally, we talked about eSIM, whether it's a traditional eSIM that you might find in a device, then we can manage that through the portal as well. But we also have something very disruptive that we're going to launch. You've got to be aware that the vast majority of IoT devices out there do not have eSIM capability. So we're going to fix that, and we're going to turn non-eSIM capable devices into eSIM capable devices to truly liberate our customers and make life easier for them.
Non-eSIM devices into eSIM devices. Yes. So that's a long sentence I've never said before that I'm probably going to say again in front of some partners or some webinars. So once again, that's a physical SIM card that I'm used to, a plastic SIM card, half credit card sized, that's going to take an eSIM profile onto it. Yeah. Okay.
You will put the Gamma SIM into your device, it will fire up and work as normal, but what you've now got is an eSIM in that device, and we can then push another profile onto that device. So you may put the SIM in the device, it's Gamma 3 UK coverage, but you need Fusion IoT, and we'll then be able to push a Fusion IoT profile onto that SIM seamlessly, very easily for the customer.
So my knee-jerk reaction to that is the engineering efficiencies of changing the SIM card to one of ours once. It doesn't have to be an eSIM device. We're future-proofing from just a SIM change. Yes. And then I feel like I'm asking for clarity again. We've got a physical SIM card in a device that can download an eSIM profile onto it from almost, well, a myriad of carriers then, essentially. Yeah. So engineering efficiencies, touch that device once only again, and then leave it in the field. And
you think of all the devices that are already out there, on the top of wind turbines, on the top of street lights, in trailers all over the world, on shipping containers. And if you want to change your coverage provider, today you have to change the SIM.
Yes.
Every time you want to change the coverage provider, you have to change the SIM. What we're saying is change it once, put our Gamma SIM in there, and then your device is future-proofed. And you don't have to go to the expense of swapping out the device to have an eSIM capable device.
That's hugely advantageous from commercially to engineering wise and efficiencies and all that good stuff. We're going to be busy, aren't we? I hope.
Yeah. We've got a lot more. We've got a lot more to talk about on this particular subject. We'll probably do that in another time in another podcast, because we could spend an hour talking about that solution. But this is the benefit of bringing together the capabilities of our German team and our UK team, to create something that is greater than the sum of the parts.
Yeah. Yeah, and with our good connections here in Europe to the main carriers, we got very good contracts for IoT connectivity worldwide for all aspects of IoT. If you think the M2M connectivity, 5G, narrowband IoT, LTE, MCAT, all the stuff the customers need for their solutions, we can offer in one portal, and that's why it's easy to administrate these things for the customers and for the manufacturers of devices combined with Fusion IoT connectivity.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple of good points there. One is the flexibility, and as Christian said, you can have various types of application, all of which demand a different type of connectivity. So if you have an IoT device in a shipping container, and all you want to know is where is that shipping container, and it sends you a signal once in a while to tell you where it is, what you need really is a narrowband solution, because that has a much lower impact on battery, so the battery life can be extended. So one of these devices can be put in place and not touched for 10 years, right? Yeah. Because the demands of the connectivity, don't actually drain the battery too much. Or you can have something that demands, absolutely super fast, high volume data, and there you're probably looking at a 5G solution. You'll have something that's in a remote location that maybe needs a narrowband satellite solution, and all of these different types of connectivity exist within the Fusion IoT service. So, truly, I think we've got a fabulous offering here.
Yeah, so feel free to think about what you can do with a data connection all over the world in your business, and then, we can talk together and we find the right solution, the right data connection solution for you and your customers.
Yeah. And we've talked about, Germany and the UK, because clearly this service was built and launched in Germany. We're bringing it into the UK. But we'll also be rolling out into our other territories in Spain and the Netherlands. So again, to Christian's point, the fact that we can drive good aggressive pricing from the operators, is based on the potential of Fusion IoT, but also, the volumes as well. And as we roll out into multiple territories, we aggregate all of those volumes to drive down the price and get the best possible commercial arrangements for our customers. That can only benefit your channel partners and our end customers.
And I know off the top of my head, we've got channel partners that work in logistics, they work in security verticals, they work in various verticals essentially, and specialize. So there's no stone unturned then with IoT really. It's not like my world of standard airtime by any stretch. I know you've explained it all terribly well, Christian, but I suppose there's an education piece that we'll help with from a Gamma perspective, and marketing and deployment, all to come.
That's all to come, but I think, as Christian said, you can do anything. What we're providing is the connectivity. People talk about different verticals. We know that the asset tracking application is probably the most popular application at the moment. We've talked about medical applications, so people wearing wearables that maybe are monitoring their heart rate, their heart rhythm, their oxygen levels, and data is being sent regularly to the local doctor. If the data says that actually this patient's readings are outside of acceptable parameters, that will trigger an alert to the doctor to intervene before it becomes a huge problem.
Yeah, we are able to build business models and add connectivity services to manufacturers of solutions in every business. So we can combine it as a service to the customer. So we can speak and we spoke to verticals to combine it as a full service with, for example, asset tracking together with the connectivity for the customer. So it's very easy. It's very easy to combine these things for win-win situations for manufacturers of IoT solutions.
Yeah, and I think as Christian said there, they built a very, very impressive ecosystem of partners who provide hardware, who can provide consultancy and other services. Obviously, we focus very much on the connectivity piece, but within the UK also, we're building that ecosystem of people we can work with to deliver full solutions to customers. So I think, from a channel partner point of view, from your partner's point of view, they can go as deep as they like into this with us. If they have an existing IoT business and they've worked out how to run that and operate that successfully, then we've got a fabulous connectivity offering for them. If they need a little bit more help because IoT is new to them, then we can help them. And we have the partners as well, the ecosystem partners who can provide various aspects that we don't provide directly.
There's another advantage of Fusion IoT because of the traditional telecommunications business in the specific countries in Europe. Traditional telecommunications are country specific due to national regulations which require each country to maintain its own closed, secure telecommunications infrastructure. In contrast, IoT utilizes the existing global network structures and ensures an open software-based connection across all national borders. As a network operator and independent service provider, Fusion IoT utilizes all networks available to its customer worldwide and consolidates them on this one SIM management platform. It's called My Fusion.
And we'll get access to that in the UK, Steve, is the plan.
Yeah.
So it sounds like our product marketing teams are going to have their work cut out in the short term, probably after this podcast goes out, but we'll have this information and availability through the product as it evolves and comes out.
We'll have exactly the same platform that Christian has built in Germany, tailored for the UK. So UK currency, UK tax recognised. Also built to support the channel partner structure that we have here in the UK. And as Christian said as well, there's also an end user access as well. So the customers of our partners can also manage their own connectivity directly onto on the portal.
So SIM cards, but not as I currently know them through our Gamma Mobile piece through MVNO, which is terribly exciting, and a sort of a myriad of connectivity that we're giving our partners access to.
Yeah, but look, at the end of the day, IoT is really about business process efficiency. It's about improving the quality of products and services. It's about businesses being able to drive more revenue and increase customer satisfaction. So it's a very exciting time to be in this market. It's already a big market. It's accelerating in terms of the growth. Fabulous time to be in this market. Fabulous time for your partners too.
And also the esim functionality will open up a wide range and will have a significant impact on IoT growth. And we implement the esim functionality this year in the platform together with Gamma Mobile, and I think that will push the business much more than now. And it's enough to do. And it's enough to do at this time, I have to say.
So we talked about esim on a similar podcast and the release of that this year. But esim is present and at least or coming on IoT, as well as 20 minutes ago when I said this is esim functionality on a physical SIM card.
Yes, there are two aspects to this. There are some IoT devices that currently have eSIMs soldered into them. So as Christian said, the metering industry is huge, and typically you'll find eSIM chips soldered into meters. Similarly, the automotive industry, so vehicles out there, cars, they will have an eSIM soldered into the car somewhere. What we're talking about is every other type of IoT device that doesn't have eSIM capability at the moment, and those devices could be anywhere in the world in really inaccessible places. So really they're exactly the types of device that should be eSIM capable. So we're going to make them eSIM capable if they're not capable already.
I'm kind of selfishly thinking about my partners and the connectivity, and it's just the fact that almost we will be able to kind of provide every type of connectivity moving forward when this gets released this year. Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. And this is hugely secure as well. eSIM technology is very secure technology. We're working with the largest manufacturer in the world that has huge security credentials. I mean, they manufacture bank cards, for example. They're involved in a lot of kind of government contracts working on security. So we've got a very, very secure solution. We have endpoint solution as well with the kind of mobile device management type capabilities that we can put onto the IoT device. And as Christian said, we have the ability to route the data, take the data off the network, route it securely from Gamma. So we minimize the attack area essentially. So it makes it very, very difficult for anyone who's got less than honorable intentions to do harm to our customers.
Obviously, we've got an army of partners out there that I'm pleased to deal with from a Gamma Mobile perspective. IoT is coming over from Germany, and we'll launch that in 2024. So vast opportunity. And what's the kind of, what does scalability look like? What does a partner that's never done IoT before versus one that might already dabble to some degree, but just not with Gamma? What can we do? How can we help?
Well, I mean, I think personally we can start with any kind of business. We can start small and we can take it as big as they want us to take it. I mean, we've talked about the huge growth potential in IoT, the fact that we're going to be adding, according to the analysts, 25 million SIMs in the next 2 years, right? And then within, 4 or 5 years, we'll be at, double that. We'll be at 130 million SIMs, something like that. So, we're seeing exponential growth. And I think the opportunity for people who get into the IoT space now is, it's not completely new. So there is a market already there, and we're seeing increasing numbers of businesses adopt IoT. And then what we're finding is once they've adopted IoT, they're extending it to more and more use cases. So they maybe apply it to one use case initially, one business process they want to improve. But then as they see the benefits roll out from that, they then think of other use cases they can apply it to. So we've got growth in the number of companies using it. We've got growth in the number of use cases that each company is using it for. So I think that what that means is if you have partners who are thinking about IoT, they want to move into the market, they can do that with Gamma and start small, and we can take them as big as they want to be. As Christian said, Fusion IoT is a global solution. And we can take them from the tens of SIMs to the hundreds of thousands of SIMs to the millions of SIMs if they wish.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, and it's very easy. It's very easy to sell IoT or Fusion IoT. You only have to ask your customer if he had a need to digitalize something in his business, and then you can talk about it. And all the time you want to digitize everything in your business, you need connectivity. And we are the right partner for connectivity worldwide. So let's talk.
I was going to try and say something really clever then, but you've summed it up essentially, Christian. So I'll keep quiet.
You only had to ask your customer. Every customer has the need of digitalization in his business. And we can help him.
So yeah, thank you again. I mean, that's great, Christian, to get the benefit of your experience in IoT. I mean, you've been doing this for kind of 4 or 5 years, so that gives us a real head start in the UK. And I think for our colleagues in Spain and the Netherlands as well, it'll be similarly beneficial for them. And thanks, Rob, for your time as well. I know you're trying to get your head around IoT now and
absolutely.
how that applies to the
I'm
partners.
excited about what it's going to offer to our channel and our partners this year. So yeah, thank you for your time.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you very much. It was a great discussion. I know we're going to be talking more and more over the coming months as we start to roll these things out. But thank you very much for watching the podcast, and we'll see you for the next one. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you too, and greetings from Germany. And we'll get it together. And let's start. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.